Hey. Boo. I'm a scarecrow. I scare all the crows away. And all unnecessary thoughts from your brain are scurrying off. It's fall time and almost officially autumn. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to tell you one of my first ghost stories. And I have some pumpkins to show you. Pumpkins, 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 pumpkins. Pumpkin. My hair is almost a pumpkin orange. Actually, it is pumpkin orange. I'd have to say fall is my favorite time of year. I love all the seasons though, but clearly the warm tones of red, orange, yellow. Get cozy. I have a pillow and blanket. Blanket, 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 blanket. Oddly enough, blanket is my favorite word. Or one of them at least. As far as how words sound, this is my really golden yellow and soft blanket. And my pillow. I have so many pillows. I'll use them on chairs, couches, my bed. Getting into the ghost story. So, many years ago, I am a witch, but I was also a witch at this time. I met a new friend, and we had seen each other out and about on the town, and we knew each other for a little bit, and then we finally reconnected. So, upon first really getting to know this friend one-on-one, one of the first things that he did was ask me if I wanted to meet his ghost friend. And being someone who is obsessed with the paranormal and any type of ghost story, of course I said yes and kept an open mind with it. So he showed me a particular instrument that the ghost was attached to. And this is a real pumpkin, by the way. He played the instrument, introduced me to the ghost, told me its name. Now, this ghost still likes to be around me and follow me to this day, but as long as I don't say its name and omit some of the details of the story, I'll most likely be less bothered. So if I say its name or the particular instrument or the friend that introduced me to it, even just thinking about it manifests him here. So he's actually here. And I don't want to get ahead of myself because there's a part of the story I want to tell you, but I'll get to it later. Stem. This friend would tell me that he would see the ghost sometimes appear in light form. And so what happened was, when I went home after being introduced to the ghost, I started hearing a lot of whistling. I wouldn't hear it when I was at my friend's house, and me and that friend, we kind of started hanging out more often, every couple days at the time, and so that was really interesting. There were a lot of paranormal stuff and magical things when we'd interact, since we were both witches. It was crazy though, because I had roommates at the time, and I would hear the whistling and say I was talking to my roommates in the hallway. I'd be hearing it and they weren't hearing it. I wouldn't ask them if they heard the whistling, because they're already just those type of people who aren't really into ghosts. They would get spooked out. So I don't mind ghosts as long as I can do my day-to-day life and function without them pestering me. It's fine, but a lot of times they just want attention, someone to talk to, and I love ghost friends. So I welcome any ghost friends, and I'm gonna mention this right now. Any ghosts in the area, any that live in my apartment or apartment complex or in the cemetery, you're always welcome to come here and communicate with me. Without further ado, and so it got to the point where the whistling was non-stop. To where it was so loud and it was weird. I've had my fair share of paranormal experiences, and oftentimes various spirits will talk. It sounds like they're above. It's almost as though they're in the in-between. And they really are. There are different realms and parallel universes that can interact with us, and pumpkin sort of reminds me of me. It's colorful, punk, spooky. And so the guest told me once, this is someone I had known all my life, and they're sitting over on the couch. This person I would watch a lot of horror movies with, and we're open to that kind of thing, although we never really had any profound spiritual experiences when we're hanging out or anything. But the guest told me, you hear the whistling too, huh? Maybe he noticed that sometimes when it'd be whistling, I would look in the direction of the whistling, you know? And I said, yeah, you hear that too. And I said, oh, okay, well, don't tell my roommates, because they had already not been into my practice of witchcraft, so I had to do it in secret and hide my books, and that's a whole different story. But I just said, just don't tell them about it. I just didn't want what they didn't know. They didn't need to know about that. If they can't hear it, it's fine. After that, it just, even though I was telling out my friend that introduced me to the ghost, he had, I don't remember if I mentioned this yet, but he had bought the instrument that the ghost was attached to, and the lady who sold him the instrument explained this to him, so he would get possessed by the ghost while playing, and it was really beautiful. The songs are amazing. I also found out that this ghost was a warrior in a different era. So it was a human at one point. And so what the ghost would do to pass time is it would whistle. And it would generally whistle the same song. It knew a few different songs. I don't remember the song, but it almost was one of those well-known songs to where it just sounded really catchy, or I feel as though almost that I've heard it before. Red gloves. Soft. These are shiny. I love how shiny they are. Also, I kind of did my makeup more my style. I'm going to be experimenting more with makeup, because this is kind of how I like to do my makeup. Not even just because, oh, it's fall, spooky season. This is all year round for me. Oh, and the maple leaves. These are maple shaped leaves. They're fake, but I do want to get some real ones once fall starts happening very, very I'm a sleeper. I often like getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep unless I feel as though I can't sleep because I have so much to do. I need to get ahead that I won't sleep that long, but generally I like sleeping 8 or 9 hours. So I was having such trouble sleeping for a week because of the whistling, and then so I finally asked it to stop. I said, Ghost, you need to be quiet and stop whistling. I need to get some rest, and you are not welcome here. And then the whistling stopped like that. So what I want people to know is that you don't need to be afraid of ghosts. Ghosts are oftentimes even sweeter than living humans. It's just, you just need to communicate with them. You would think that they would understand certain types of common courtesy, but they do if you just ask nicely. Literally, most of the time, I don't know if there's spiritual universal laws where if something or someone, some type of being requests for something that they must do it. I'm not really sure about that, but I have noticed every time I have told any type of spiritual entity to stop or go away or stop bothering me, they effortlessly just do it. So that was an interesting lesson for me to learn with that. So that was the gist of the main encounter. There's more to the story though, so where I used to hang out, there was a certain friend that we would share alien and paranormal stories. And this friend had an app, one of those spirit box apps. For some reason, this particular story with this ghost, I never told this friend. We always had weird things happening, even where we would hang out. I would see poltergeist activity and whatnot. So he showed me this spirit box app. Spooky season, spooky season, spooky season. The veil is lifting even more. The veil is open. Season of the ghosts, 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 ghosts. So my friend showed me the spirit box app and just wanted to test it out with me. So he tells the app, are there any spirits here? Is there anything you want to communicate to Nikki? The spirit said, oh, she's funny, honest, all these nice things. And my friend was just making a joke saying, okay, no, really, tell me about, what do you want to tell Nikki? Tell me about her. Just being funny. So then I took control of the situation and said, if there's any ghosts or spirits there that really have a profound message to me or want to make yourself known, now is the time. And on this app, certain words would pop up, and the word of the exact instrument that the spirit was attached to popped up, and I just thought, wow, I can't believe this app really works. I've looked into getting some on my phone myself. I haven't found one that looked legit and didn't have bad reviews, so honestly, I don't use one. I actually bought a professional spirit box at one point and then ended up giving it away to one of my friends because I just didn't like how it worked. It would play the radio fast back and forwards and pick up words, but then it would pick up various conversations on the radio on different stations, and I just didn't see the legitimacy of it. I actually think that my friend's app, where there was no use of the radio, just words organically came up, to me that was proof. I don't talk to that friend anymore, and I forgot what the app was called. Luckily, it was just really funny. Also, it was kind of cute how the ghost was still there in the shadows because I hadn't communicated. I didn't realize that it would still watch me, and it was attached to me essentially. I never got possessed by the ghost, and it wasn't in my spiritual energy, but I mean, my energy does go out, but it would just like to watch me and be around me. And it was kind of crazy to think about how so much time had gone by and it was still around. This one reminds me of a spreadsheet where you do math equations. It's like a web too. A web of numbers. A web of messages. I've been listening and watching a lot of fall type ambience videos. It's so comforting. And I hope you get that same feeling from this video. Okay, I want to channel a message actually right now from the ghost. He said that he thinks I'm very amazing, artistic, and he actually really likes my YouTube videos. So, apparently the ghost watches my YouTube videos. But maybe he's around so much that he watches me edit them. That's funny. I'm gonna ask the ghost if it has a message, not about me, but just a general spiritual message for the audience. Okay, the ghost says that there are lots of ghosts actually at the cemetery. They like it when people visit them as long, and I'm getting this weird clicking that I usually get when aliens or certain extraterrestrials are talking to me, and I've been getting that clicking a lot more. But anyways, he's saying that a lot of ghosts are at the cemeteries actually. It's not that they're there all the time. They're in parallel universes. even if you want to know about what's going on in the world or just some situation, they'll put you on at ease because they actually know a lot. I mean, you could just channel that from source energy and gathering it from the collective conscious, but it's interesting when you get a particular spirit's perspective on that. It's funny that the ghost mentions that because I'm going to be doing another video with a ghost story, and it actually has to deal with a ghost I saw at my local cemetery. There's this cool pumpkin I saw at the store, and it was a timer that you would turn if you wanted to set. It was a pumpkin timer. However long you wanted the timer to go off. I didn't really need it because I just used the timer on my phone. There are so many cool Halloween decorations. I got a bunch of cool stuff actually. I'm not getting any more Halloween or Christmas stuff. I got a bunch. I did because I've always noticed that even though it's still more towards the beginning of September, a lot of the spooky autumn, fall decorations come out, and a lot of the good ones go really fast. Sometimes they'll get more shipments of stuff. I just like getting all the coolest decorations. So I got quite a bit of Halloween and even Christmas, and each year I get a little bit more. I try not to go too crazy. I just have some really cool videos planned for y'all in the future. This basket though. Thank you for spending time with me. And I look forward to all the other videos we hang out in the future. So if you want to, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends. Check out the description down below for